I'm a Hebrew, you didn't learn that from your teacher. Columbus sailed America, killing Indian people. Hebrews, not African people. America gave us liberty.
Hi, this is Joseph Washington. Listen, I am so excited about today. I have a special guest that we're going to be interviewing on today, Mr. Micah Crenshaw, aka Taylor Made Macrenzie. And we're excited about the fact that Micah's just dropped a new album, and we just want to talk to you a little bit about your album, ask you some questions, and let's just see where we go from here. So, the first question I want to ask you, I know that you just dropped your second album. What's the name of it?
Far From the Track.
Okay, and why that name?
Basically, it just talks about a lot of different situations that happened in my life. Basically just saying that you can be in the world, not part of the world.
Okay. Okay. Y'all heard that now. All right. Listen, I noticed one of the questions I'm excited about asking you, because he's a gentleman that I've followed for many, many years. Canton Jones is on your album. He's featured on your album. How did you get Canton Jones to get on your album, man?
It really was a blessing. I hooked up with Luke G, and he goes to Canton Jones Church. So
okay.
And that was a doorway for me to be able to reach out to Ken and get him on the track.
And was it easy? Did he say yes right away? Did he need to pray about it? Did he need to think about it? How did that go when, in terms of the conversation?
It was actually pretty easy.
Okay.
Ken's a man of God.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I guess he saw me trying to better myself, and being hooked up with other people that he know, that was a blessing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Another doorway for me to be able to reach out to him and get a song with him.
Right. And I definitely want to say, for you all that are listening right now, in order to get somebody like a Canton Jones of that caliber to do anything with you, it says a lot about who you are. And so I just want you guys to understand that Canton just don't jump on anybody's stuff. You got to be about something. You got to love the Lord. And Micah is somebody that I know who loves God, but just does it in a way that he can reach so many other people. Another question I have: how many songs is on this particular album here?
22.
22 songs. How did you do 22 songs? Did you write all of this yourself?
I write all of my songs.
Really? So no ghostwriter, nobody down the street writing them. This is you.
All praise to the Most High.
Wow.
For giving me the ability to be able to do it. So
wow.
It's just a blessing, because I try to write something every day. Every day I try to take the time out to write. Right. The more I write, the better I get. So that was why it's so easy for me to come out with so many songs, because I write something every day. I'm constantly writing, better myself, studying, applying what needs to be applied to be able to succeed. Yeah. Yeah, and that's so interesting, because that's a principle, I share with people a lot of times, man. A short pencil is better than a long memory. You got to write that stuff down. A lot of cats trying to keep stuff up in their head, but when you put that pen to paper, man, it makes a difference. And so, practice don't make perfect, but it makes better. So I'm excited. I don't know about you guys that are watching this right now. I'm super excited about this interview and just talk with him. Another question that I wanted to ask you is, where can the people buy the album at? You can buy it on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Play. Okay, you guys got that right. Now Spotify, I'm not real, I'm a little off on that. No, what is Spotify? Is that an app? That's something? Yeah, it's an app. Okay. It's hooked up to TuneCore. Okay. I have the I'm a Believer track on CD Baby. Okay. It's on CD Baby, which features Canton Jones. Right. So that's on CD Baby. You can buy that track. Okay. So it's pretty. You can get to it pretty easy. Yes, sir. Okay. All right. Here's a question I want to ask you. You call yourself a Hebrew Israelite. Is that the same thing as a Muslim? It's not the same. It's not the same, because Elijah Muhammad, that's one thing. Elijah Muhammad was around, he's 500 years after Christ. He was around the Israelites. That's how he came up with being a Muslim, being around the Israelites. And he tried to get them to say, look, this is what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Allah is God. And the Israelites didn't go for that. Right. So he got mad at the Israelites, and he put them into slavery. That's where the Arabian slave trade came from. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Was before the Atlantic slave trade. So that's the difference between being a Muslim and an Israelite. I got you. Okay. So let me ask you, I'm gonna deviate a little bit if you don't mind.
because I think this is an interesting subject. So what is your belief in terms of, are you Christian? You do Christian rap? You're a follower of Christ? You're Israel? Like, for those that are watching, that may be asking the same question or thinking the same thing I'm thinking, what's your foundation? What's your position on that?
I call myself a believer.
Yeah.
Because
Me too.
a Christian can be labeled something, because that's what when they talked about Christ, they said they called them Christians in a negative way. It's kind of like calling me as a black man a nigga.
Right.
Like how we made it seem cool.
Right.
Which is a derogatory statement saying about ourselves. We shouldn't even use the word because it's not meant to be cool. It was meant to make us seem lesser than who we are.
Exactly. Okay.
So calling myself a Christian, I really don't call myself a Christian because that can get into religion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I call myself a believer.
Okay. Okay. So you guys understand that? If you don't, you can email him, not me. You email this gentleman over here. Another question that I saw was real interesting, and I'm so proud of you. You've been celibate for the last 12 years. How are you able to do that? What's your focus? What's your reason for being celibate, and what's the history behind that?
Really, always been the type of guy. I was not there always chasing a whole bunch of females. If I had one female I could talk to, I was cool with that.
Okay.
If I had one female I could sleep with, I was cool. But as I started getting the word more and understand, like 1 Corinthians 7-9 says that basically you should wait until marriage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Before you sleep.
Right.
Or something like that.
Right.
If you're a man, sleep with a woman.
Right.
Not a man sleep with a man or a woman sleep with a woman.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's still fornication if you're a man sleeping with a man.
That's right.
And you married.
That's right.
That's still fornication.
Right.
So basically I started getting the word more and started understanding that, God want me to be like him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That helped me understand that I don't need to be out here trying to sleep around with a whole bunch of different women and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is not really the cool thing to do, because you really, to have a whole bunch of females, that's a cool thing to have.
Right.
That was the world thing. But, I'm not really into trying to please people. I'm into pleasing the Most High.
Right.
God.
Right.
So that what really helped me to understand, help me better myself. To stay celibate for so long. Right.
Yeah, I think that's, not only is that commendable, but it's good for the audience to hear that, because, a lot of people, in terms of what's going on today, there's a lot of folks in quote unquote Christendom that are preaching one thing, but doing another. And so to hear a brother like yourself, man, who's in this game, who's rapping, who's doing this thing, but still keeping your body pure before God, because that's certainly what God has asked of us. And I think it's a very smart thing. Any kids? You have any kids?
No kids.
No kids. Ever been married?
No, sir.
Never been married, no kids. So ladies, you watching this, you see him, no kids, no married, never been married, which means probably no drama. So if you want to know more about who this guy is, then you email me, and I'll let you know what you can do from there, okay? Because it's good stock here, it's a good guy here, all right? Next question. What can you say to the people out there that's struggling with fornication, that's struggling, with wanting to be intimate with somebody and they're not married?
You got to get into the word, because that's going to be your defense. You know what I'm saying? Money is the defense, but, you know what I'm saying, to be able to defend yourself, you got to have someone on the inside of you.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's not just about, well, I'm going to get me a female and I'm going to give me a girl, and as soon as I get one, we're going to start having sex. You know what I'm saying? That can be a problem.
Sure.
Starting yourself out that way.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you base your relationship off of sex, you know what I'm saying? What else you got?
Yeah.
What else you got?
Sure.
If you with a bad person your whole life, and you sit around your whole life, and you was just there because y'all was so-called making love. It's you just get in the word and spend time with God, because if we never spend time with God, all He done for us.
Right.
And we never say we love Him, but we never spend time with Him.
Amen.
Say call ourselves followers of Christ, but we don't know Him.
Right. Right.
How you think He feel?
Right. Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, great answer. And I think too, from your perspective, and people need to understand who's watching this, if you're in this situation right now and you feel like, hey, I'm single, like this gentleman here, and my body is just aching, it's on fire. Why would I want to abstain from that? And I think one of the main reasons, you don't want to create those soul ties with somebody else that you're not going to be hooked up with the rest of your life. And I just think it's a smart decision. And I think that if more people were honest, if you would have asked them, many of us would have said, I wish I would have waited. And so just super proud of you, man, when it comes to that. Another thing, you call yourself a hip hop artist. So how is it that you're able to be a hip hop artist, but you do Christian gospel? Do the two coincide, or is there a difference between the two? How does that work?
Really, everybody will tell you this, but it's really like a marketing strategy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If I just put myself under a label, say I'm a Christian gospel rapper, they ain't gonna go look for this.
Right.
Because what's cool is being a hip hop artist, talking about everything in the world. I talk about everything in the world, but I just talk about it in a different way.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I talk about the same thing hip hop artists talk about. I just talk about it in a different way.
Okay.
I don't glorify the things of the world.
Okay.
I give praise to God.
Right.
You know, and that's why I label myself a hip hop artist.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
to reach a different crowd of people.
So it opens up that audience.
Yes.
Because the main thing you want to do is get people to start listening. Once they hear your message, you got them.
Exactly.
I got you. No, that's smart. The song Braveheart, how did you come up with that?
Well, you know, it's just a lot of situations. Like, just reading Deuteronomy, in Deuteronomy 28, it talks about who the Israelites are.
Right.
You know. And that's basically what the song is about, you know what I'm saying? Who are the Israelites? And who put us into slavery? The people that put us into slavery.
Right.
That is basically what the song is about. You know, I talk about, I touch on some situations that people might say, well, they're gonna say otherwise, but I brought the word in there too. I said that first to get people to understand that we need to study more, so the show I shall approve. You know what I'm saying? Because if we know this information, people can't trick us. It's different when you hear somebody say something, but when you go searching for yourself,
right,
it's a totally different outlook.
Got you. Yep. Got you. All right, listen. Let me ask you this question. Your message, your style is very controversial, right? And sometimes it offends those in the church and those in the street. And even though you don't curse in your music, there's still that difference. Explain that to me.
I think that it's like in the church, they say, well, you can't say that.
Right.
You know, and in the streets, I'm like, why you saying that? And you in the church. You know what I'm saying? I don't really get caught up in so-called everything everybody be saying for real. But I just try to get people to understand that we still human.
Right.
Not saying that we should make mistakes, because Romans 6:1 says, just because we have grace don't mean we're allowed to sin. You know what I'm saying? God forbid.
Right.
So I just try to basically just reach a different group of people every time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because some people want you to meet them on their level. If I was just talking about church all the time, jumping up and down, hallelujah, hallelujah, but I never gave you no important information.
Right.
What value would that do to you?
Right.
And what value would that be to me?
Right.
But you know, that's basically it.
Okay. Next question. You write a lot of songs, but do you charge people to feature?
I don't charge.
Okay.
Most of the people I have songs with, I just built a relationship with them. I don't see myself right now charging, because if you want me to write a song for you, I'm gonna charge you then.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna charge you then. But if you just want me to be on a song, I don't feel the need that I have to charge, because if I'm telling you something about God, you know, giving you supporting information, and I'm just sharing my relationship that I have with God, why should I charge you for that? You know what I'm saying? If we trying to build something and get people closer to God, I'm not gonna charge you for that. But if you want me to write a song, I'm gonna charge you, because I'm gonna use my lyrics.
Right.
And you gonna call it yours.
Right. Right.
So I'm gonna charge you then.
Right. And I liken it to, the fact that, as a pastor myself, who still speaks in the marketplace to Fortune 500 companies, oftentimes churches will call and ask me to come speak and ask me, what do I charge? And as I always tell them, I don't feel comfortable charging the church. But now, however, when I go into the marketplace, to the Walmarts, to the Verizons, to the Best Buys, and speak at those companies, I want everything they have. I want their kids' piggy banks. I want the kids' college fund. I want everything, because I'm not going to charge God's people. I'm not going to charge for the gospel like I would if I was out in the world. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so to me, and I agree with you, there's a difference there when you're speaking the word of God. That you're saying, hey, this is my gift God has given me, and I'm going to share it, and it's not for sale. However, if you want me to write you a song, now that becomes business. So I agree with you 100%. I found this very interesting because I'm a big fan. So you're from Pensacola, Florida, right? The home of Roy Jones Jr., right? Trent Richardson, Derrick Brooks. Now, is that the same Derrick Brooks that played at Florida State University, the hat that I have on? Is that the same Derrick Brooks? So you are my brother. All right now. And then I see here Justin Gatlin. All these guys are from Pensacola, correct?
Yes.
So do you still have a relationship with Pensacola? Do you still feel like that's home? I know you've been here in Atlanta for a minute, but do you still feel like Pensacola's home? That's my place I get away to. That's where I chill and relax. What's your relationship with Pensacola?
I still go back home from time to time, and I have a close relationship with people that's still there.
Okay.
As far as going back living there, I don't think I would go back to live there, but I still have a relationship with the people there.
Have you seen Roy Jones before?
Yeah, I met him.
You met him? I met him in the airport, man.
Yeah.
And got a picture with him. And he's a great guy. Have not met Derrick Brooks, but did have a chance to meet Trent Richardson. Certainly watch Gatlin run. I found my experience with Pensacola just some good down-home dudes there, man. Pensacola's a nice place. You guys got great beaches there too, correct?
Oh yes, sir.
Because there's an argument that Daytona Beach got better beaches than Pensacola, right? That ain't true?
Nah, they don't have nothing on our
They ain't got nothing on Pensacola. So if you're in the Florida area and you're looking for a beach, you want to hit Pensacola. Then next, probably Daytona. Last question I want to ask you, because this has been a great interview and it's been interesting and lovely talking to you. For those people who say, you know what, I want to do what you do. I want to get into this business. I want to start rapping and I want to do Christian rap or whatever. What advice would you give them?
Get in that word so that you can give people important information. Not just telling them your life situation. That's good. Telling them where you came from, your testimony is what you need to have. But also you need to get closer to God by getting in the word and then share that with the people. Yeah. So that people can understand that you didn't do this by yourself.
Wow. Okay.
You did this with God help.
Right.
With the help of God.
That's right. Okay. So before we actually end this interview, are there any parting words, any thoughts that you want to leave with the people? You want to say anything? Because maybe I forgot something that you want to just share and put out there.
I just want to say that, I'm thankful for the opportunity that I have. God blessed me with. He's been so good to me all through this whole time. I never thought I would be rapping on this level, doing songs with big name people like I'm doing. But it would just be me being consistent. You know what I'm saying? You have to be consistent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they say that you practice makes perfect. But if you practice the wrong thing, okay, yeah, they don't make perfect. So you know what I'm saying? So just being consistent, just constantly reading. Take the time. See, people will go buy some $100 J's, but when you tell them there's a $100 book out there online, you need to go get it.
That's right.
They won't go buy it.
That's right.
Because they feel like that's not that important as your type.
Right.
But we gotta understand that as people, that the most valuable thing we can have is God in our mind. And I want people to know that through all your situation that you've been through, there's a testimony.
Yeah.
You don't have to be in that situation where you out there in the world just going to the club every day, drinking, getting drunk, getting high, smoking, you know, fornicating. You know what I'm saying? We all go through things, we all make mistakes, but don't stay there.
Right.
I just like to thank God for my opportunities and everything.
Well, you know, it's certainly been my pleasure to interview you. I know you personally, so I have a open seat to have been able to watch your life, watch what you do on a day-to-day basis. As you know, I'm extremely proud of you and what you do. You are a great representation for black men who want to succeed without any excuses, for somebody who's willing to participate in their own personal rescue, no matter what the odds are. And I think the message that you sent them today, that I think for a lot of folks that want to do what you do, they want the glamour and they want the right now, but they're not willing to put that work in, you know. And I know that's been for you, putting that work in when there was no Canton Jones, when there was no big time names, where you were still putting in the same work with the same energy. And I think that's really what people really need to understand, the work ethics that comes along with this. And I think that if you're in this game of Christian rap, hip hop, whatever you want to call it, then the Word of God is certainly something you need to know from front to back, because that's what you're promoting, God's Word. And so to say, I don't want to read, I'm not interested in that. If you just want to be a performer, I guess you can go to the circus. But if you really want to do what you do, then you got to put that time in prayer, put that time in the Word. And so we're super excited about what God's doing in your life and what He's going to continue to do. Guys, this is Micah Crenshaw. I'm Joseph B. Washington. We've had a wonderful, wonderful time. Get his music. You know where to get it. But just remember, you know, that some men see things as they are and say, why? You must now dream of things that never were and say, why not you? It can be you. Just put your mind to it. God bless you. We'll see you at the top.
Born in the 80s, flow is kinda crazy. Dropping like the baby, don't want you to praise me. God is so amazing. Don't you know Christ is my savior? I got stripes like a